Yo, what's up guys, my name is Severman and today we'll be making an emotional future-based song from scratch in FL Studio. For this tutorial I will be using the new J Mason vocal pack, which comes with 8 full-length vocals. The cool thing is they're already processed, you can get them dry and wet. As you can see here, you have a dry one, you have a wet one, and then you also get the stems with each vocal. So you have the ad-libs, effect, harmonies, high octave, and the lead bar separately if you want to go more in depth with the vocals. And the one that I will be using sounds like that.
It's almost like I missed you, but I could never let myself forget all my love you misused, so I won't play your game. And all the times I feel something, 'cause all that you are is regret. No, I don't need your love, I don't need your touch, I don't need anything now.
Sounds really good in my opinion. They're all very high quality. Just note that I already stretched these from 124 beats per minute to 150 beats per minute, so that's why the quality might be a little reduced. But these vocals are very high quality. I can recommend them for sure. And if you want to have this pack, make sure to grab it using the link in the description. This way you also support me because it's an affiliate link, so I'll get I think 20% or something with no additional cost for you guys. Well, let's get right into the video. Yeah, I will start making some chords for these vocals, and I already have a little progression, like chord progression in my head. And I already also selected this nice pad sound, which is from what is it called, Hammer, I think, from FL Studio, which is a native plugin.
It's almost like I missed you, but it's almost like I missed you.
So I always like to start with the bass notes for the chords, because for me that's the easiest way to start with the chord progression.
It's almost like I missed you, but I could never let myself forget all my love you misused, so I won't play your games.
During the next 8 bars, I'm probably gonna change them up. I wanna have some variation there.
Feel something.
Gonna copy and paste them, just put them an octave higher. Finding some harmonies here. That one is too high. So we could maybe try grabbing those and putting them an octave lower. Maybe put that one octave higher as well. Okay, I really like this for the verse, and then I'm just gonna grab my bass notes and I'm gonna open up a nice respace or something. There's one preset in here called Kung Fu, which works pretty well. It's maybe a little overused, but whatever. Sounds really nice.
Like I missed you, but I could never let myself forget all my love you misused, so I won't play your games.
Yeah, I really like this already. What I want to do with the pad is I want to have this wide actually, because it's pretty mono-ish right now. Actually, one plugin that I really like from FL Studio as well, and it's a native one, is the new vintage chorus plugin. And as the name suggests, it's like kind of adding some type of vintage gives it a vintage character, whatever. Maybe add some OTT.
It's almost like I missed you, but I could never let myself forget all my love you misused, so I won't play your games.
Okay, awesome. Then I'm gonna probably add some drums here to this part.
Feel something.
Maybe this one. I also like this one right here. Yeah, I think that's gonna work out. Let me just create a nice drum pattern here. Yeah, I think this is great.
To feel something, there's a voice in the back of my head telling me
I want to add one more snare with a bit more tonality or something to it, with a bit more character. Maybe something like that.
to feel, to feel, to feel something. There's a voice in the back of my head telling me to keep running, 'cause all that you are is regret. No, I don't need your love.
Awesome. Then I think we probably also need like a hi-hat or something. Something like that.
Telling me to keep running, 'cause all that you are is regret. No, I don't need your love.
Perfect. Okay, and then not perfect yet, but it's getting in the right direction there. I'm obviously gonna do some more mixing, processing later, but I wanna build out the arrangement first and kind of have all the sounds in before I really go into detail with the mixing and stuff, of course.
Missed you, but I can't.
So maybe we can add a nice guitar or something here as well. I think that could work quite well here. Kind of sounds like crap right now, but maybe we can make something cool with some processing or something. Alright, so I added, yeah, again, the vintage chords, then a little bit of distortion to, you know, just get some more crunch to the guitar, some reverb to put into the background, push it far away, and then some EQing to get rid of the highs. Usually feel like, you know, get rid of the highs in the mix, and you have vocals, helps to make the vocals shine through a bit more. And yeah, and also lower this kind of like low resonance in the guitar as well. So now with the guitar in it sounds like that.
Missed you, but I could never let myself forget all my love you misused, so I won't play your games.
Okay, I really like this so far. I'm gonna add in some more ambient sounds in the background to, you know, similar to the guitar, just to fill out really the break here and to make it sound full. Okay guys, so I found one more ambience type of sound, which sounds like this. Added some EQing and a bit of stereo enhancing to make it a bit wider. And then I added a bunch of effect sounds, as you can see down here. So this is, for example, an impact here. Then we got some, like a drum loop and some more crash, downlifter sounds, and this synth. And then some more here. Now, let's listen once again to the verse. I really like how it sounds now. I also did some additional mixing with the elements and processing, like sidechaining the bass and stuff like that.
It's almost like I missed you, but I could never let myself forget all my love you misused, so I won't play your games. And all the times I feel something, there's a voice in the back of my head telling me to keep running, 'cause all that you are is regret. No, I don't need your love, I don't need your touch.
Now for the chorus and also then later on for the drop, I think I will change up the chords again. there's one kick too much here. This will be the build up.
I don't need your love. 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 I don't need your love.
And that will be the drop then. So that's kind of what I have in mind for the arrangement.
I don't need your love. I don't need your touch. I don't need anything.
So I think I'm gonna add some strings here in the chorus. I really like strings. And if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I like the flex strings a lot. All strings, sustain. Awesome, I really like this. So we could maybe right before the drop add this thing again here.
Love, I don't need your love.
Or maybe just this last part.
Love, I don't need your love.
Obviously, it always makes sense. What I do is in the build up, I fade in some sounds from the drop. So it could be the drop leads, drop chords, something like that, or some drop ambient sounds that you have. So it might actually make more sense to now already head over to the drop to work on the drop, make the drop first, and then add some of the drop sounds back into the build up. Maybe also already in the chorus with like a filter, some volume automation. So yeah, I'm actually gonna work on the drop now. So what I had in mind was we have this love thing here for the vocals.
Love, love, love.
And I'm not sure, but we could, you know, what I want to do is I want to try to chop this up and make a vocal chop lead for the drop using this little vocal love snippet.
Love.
Love, blah, 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 love, love, blah, 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 love, something like that. I actually have no idea how I'm gonna do this. I am probably gonna record this with Edison.
Love.
Now we could try to make something with this guy here.
Love, 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 love.
I'm gonna put this here, and then just let me copy and paste the drums here from the break. I'm gonna use the same drum pattern here. I'm not sure if I'll actually be using the pad that we have on the break also on the drop, but I'm definitely gonna add like a more aggressive saw layer to the chords. You definitely need that for future bass, you know, the aggressive super saw chords. I'm just gonna grab a Spire here for that. Just gonna init the sound. I'm gonna mute or get rid of the pad for now. Yeah, that's way more like rhythmic now. I think it works really well. Obviously, just need to work on the sound here. I don't want to use like literally the init preset here. But let's just set up a nice super saw for this chord sound. Let's maybe make like a square layer as well here. I want to actually, when you like sound design a sound and you're playing lots of chords or lots of notes for the chords, make sure to increase the voice, because if you have it set to like 4 and you have chords that consist of more than 4 notes, the sim will only play 4 notes. So just bump this up a bit, 8 or whatever. So yeah, you'll actually play all of the notes that the chords consist of. So I've just been playing around with the LFO cutoff, and I now got this interesting wobble sound that's also quite typical for future bass. So I had the timing set to 1/8, and then I just increased the amplitude. And yeah, also this knob right here to basically have the LFO effect, the filter, and then basically just set up a filter. We got a low pass filter here, play around with the cutoff, and also this knob down here, and now we got this sound. Alright guys, so I just spent like an hour or something working on the drop, mixing, adding some new sounds, processing them and stuff. Let me show you now what I did. The chords, they now sound like that. So real quick how I process them. We have a low and high cut to kind of define the range. You know, we don't want to have any bass or just roll off like the extreme highs a tiny bit. Then some more EQ in here. I felt like we had too much 200, 300, 400 hertz here in order to reduce that muddiness. You can reduce the lower mids around like 300, 400 hertz, and then usually you can get like a cleaner sound if you have too much of those frequencies. Then I also added the vintage chorus here at 50% mix. Bit more EQ to mix them in, some OTT, and then we added some reverb here with the peak control. I'm pretty sure you know how to do this. I've shown this in like 10 videos already, how I set that up. And then we got a little bit of stereo enhancing to make them just slightly wider, and then a filter for automation, and then sidechain here. I basically set up a P controller on the kick. I just linked the volume here to the kick, inverted it, so when the kick hits, chords are being reduced. So that's how I set up the sidechain. And then I added 2 mid bass layers here to the bass line. So that was the respace we initially had for the sub. Now we got this mid bass from Spire, as well as this metal bass distorted guitar. So what I did was I routed the metal bass guitar to channel 2, but I have this EQ on the metal bass guitar because I had quite a lot of resonating frequencies. And then what I did for the mid basses for both, I rolled off the high end because I felt like that was a bit too aggressive, and I added some distortion to really make them crunchy, aggressive, a bit more EQing to mix them in with the other sounds. It's really just about listening, seeing where you need to reduce something or boost something. And then we have this Vox effector module to kind of add this talk box bass sound to them. It's just at like 10% intensity, so it's not too much. And then obviously the sidechain. So then we have, let me show what it sounds like with the chords now. Perfect. And then I added these 2 ambient vocal type of sounds. The first one is actually this Manse vocal ambient sound, which you might know if you also listen to Progressive House. And then this one. And then we just have some more effect sounds down here, and 2 from the break. And then the vocal lead, let me show that one as well. That's what it sounds like now. What I did was also here low and high cut, OTT to compress it a bit. Some sound codizer also to compress it, and I think it also makes it a little wider, the sound codizer. Then we have this EQ in also to just mix it in with the other sounds. You always need to see where's my sound too present frequency wise. Here I felt like the 200 hertz were too present with this vocal chop, so I took those down, boosted the 1.2k hertz a bit, and I also took down that 11k hertz just to get rid of that nasty like highs. Then I added this picture just in order to, it's kind of like working like auto-tune, to be honest. So probably you all know auto-tune, so that's what it's basically doing. And then I have some reverb here, also linked to the P controller, so whenever the vocals play, you can see how the wet signal is sidechained. Then I added a sausage fettener, pretty much just to boost the volume a bit. And then we have a little bit of ping pong delay. and the sidechain. So now let me show you actually what all sounds together now. So this is, I'm pretty happy with this drop now. Let's check it out. Awesome. It might still not be like perfectly mixed. Obviously, you know, getting the mix right is something that can take hours and hours. So now, as I said before, I wanted to make the drop first. Now we have the drop done. And now we can actually start fading in some of the drop sounds in the break, chorus, and build up already. And that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay guys, so I'm pretty much finished with the chorus and build up as well now. So let me show you what I've done. So first of all, now I'm introducing the drop chords here during the build up using volume automation and a filter. So I'm basically reducing the volume right before the drop, right, to have more impact when the drop hits. And then I also have this, well, it's not technical filter, it's more just the low cut for the EQ. This I've automated because I wanted less bass in the build up. Then I've automated the pad and string as well for the from the breaks. I'm basically lowering the volume here right before the drop, also in order to, you know, have more impact when the drop hits. Then I have a high pass filter on the respace. Also for all that impact on the drop. Then I added this Nexus ARP plug here to fill up the chorus some more because I felt like it was a little empty. So also on here is some EQing, some more EQing, getting rid of the high end and then making it wide and nice to have it sit around the vocals. Then I added a volume automation to the kick in the build up. And then I also added a few uplifters here and a snare. Let's check these out. And then also one thing I forgot to show before the drop, I also have this low pass filter automation. So whenever the vocal plays that I added back in here, I don't need your love, I have more space for this one. Just like a tiny thing. And then yeah, also the low pass filter is actually affecting the drop chords here as well as the voice ambience sounds. So you can hear how the filter is being opened up, and then on the drop it's 100% open. So I think that's pretty much it that I did here. Now we pretty much have the first half of the song. So let me show you what we got right now.
Missed you, but I could never let myself forget all my love you misused, so I won't play your games. And all the times I feel something, there's a voice in the back of my head telling me to keep running, 'cause all that you are is regret. No, I don't need your love, I don't need your touch, I don't need anything now. You gave up on us, now your time is up. I don't need anything now. I don't need your love, I don't need your love, I don't need your love, I don't need your love.
Yeah, I'm really happy with this so far. I'm not sure if I should also show you this, but I added this additional ride here. Just doing this thing. And then I also added one of the uplifters from the build up back into the drop. And I also have this clock ticking sound that I have in the build up and here at the end of the drop. Okay, but so that's now the first half of the song. I want to make a full song here because a song doesn't only consist of one break and drop. We need two at least. But this usually isn't too much of a hustle, or like it doesn't take too much now to actually finish up the track once you have the first half done. You know what, I'm actually just gonna grab everything right here. Let me do this real quick, like that.
To listen to someone who is making sense.
So now we're pretty much having the exact same, or like the second break when I'll drop would be exactly the same. We don't want that. So now it's just about changing the second break, maybe even second drop up a bit. One thing we could do is we could keep up the beat here. So I'm probably gonna grab the drums here, add them in here. Let's see how this sounds.
Speaking to the mirror, to listen to someone who is making sense. It's never getting clearer. Can't cut you out.
Okay, maybe we need to fade or filter this thing out here at the end of the drop, the vocal chops and the chords and stuff, to make that transition a bit smoother. I'm gonna reduce the volume here as well with the drop chords. Okay, cool. Now we just have this impact right here, which doesn't really work because it's clashing with the kick drum. So I'm probably gonna take out the impact here. We could try adding in maybe those two here as well. Let's see if that works. Perfect.
To someone who is making sense.
Maybe we could add this sound here to the break as well.
Something. There's a voice in the back of my head telling me to keep running, 'cause all that you are is regret. No, I don't need your love, I don't need your touch, I don't need anything now.
Okay, perfect. We're pretty much there actually. Alright, so I just finished all the automation clips. So for the second break and drop, I pretty much just did it how I made it here. Let's see if we maybe can get a bit more variation on the second chorus. So now have it exactly the same as the first chorus. Can maybe try adding the vocal ambient sounds here already. Let's see how that sounds.
No, I don't need your love, I don't need your touch, I don't need anything now. You gave up on us, now your time is up. I don't need anything.
One more thing. I'm gonna add an additional sound to the second drop. Like that. Some frequencies that I don't like. I'm just gonna try mixing it in like that. Let's see how it sounds. Yeah, I think that actually worked great. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. I think we got a pretty good result here with this future bass track. I'm pretty happy with it. Again, mixing what might not be perfect. You could, of course, still tweak things here and there, add more stuff or some more variation throughout the track. But I think we got a pretty good result here. Let's check it out.
It's almost like I missed you, but I can't never let myself forget all my love you misused, so I won't play your games. And all the times I feel something, there's a voice in the back of my head telling me to keep running, 'cause all that you are is regret. No, I don't need your love, I don't need your touch, I don't need anything now. You gave up on us, now your time is up. I don't need anything now. I don't need your love, 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 I don't need your love. I don't need
Okay, maybe at the end there you could add like an impact or something. That was kind of abrupt or whatever. I'm actually really happy with this. I think we got a pretty solid future bass track here, and I hope that you guys could learn something from it. That's always my main goal, of course, or that it at least inspired you to work on your own tracks. I'm gonna give this FLP away for free this time. Everything will be included except for the vocals. I will not put them in here because you'll need, you know, if you want to have the vocals, buy the pack, and this way you will also support me again because I will get a share from the set without any additional cost for you guys. So again, if you want to have the J Mason pack, it consists of like 8 full-length vocal tracks. They're great for progressive house, deep house, future bass, whatever. Make sure to grab the pack using the first link in the description. Second link for the FLP. And again, I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did so. Comment with your feedback, subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.